there, Scorpio. Welcome to your mid-November 2019 tarot update. It's Raina here, and as I record this on the 6th of the month, we're going to have a full moon in Taurus on the 12th. And this is going to be in your 7th house of committed partnership. Or ships, you know, multiple. But, you know, usually we think of the significant other type of relationship. So what will you discover? What will come to a head? And, you know, whenever there's a full moon, the sun is in the opposite sign in the opposite house. So we're talking about, you know, the sun being in your sign. So maybe this is like what you need, if you're in a relationship, what you need right now, and versus what you're seeing in the other person and what their needs are. And, you know, how that relates, because this could be about your own self-evolution, you know, or what was the word I always use, like, well, self-attainment, those kinds of things. And somebody else may be like saying, hey, you know, you can't do this or you can't do that because you're in this relationship with me. And you're like, wait, you know, is that really what relationships are about? But, you know, it depends on the individual situation, obviously. The first card I picked is associated with Taurus, so there you go. And the second one is a marriage card, or, you know, and the soulmate card. So I guess this is going to be a personal or a love reading type of thing. I don't know. We'll see. I've been getting that Queen of Swords a lot. And the Hermit. It's like, okay. I think the Hermit is coming out because the Scorpio energies are very kind of like interior. It's not about like bouncing ideas off of people. It's about kind of tuning into yourself, I think, a lot more. The heart of the matter at mid-month is Knight of Pentacles. This can involve somebody who's a Taurus, and it can be something comes to a head, maybe the full moon in some way. It can be relationship related, but there are other things that the 7th house represents too, which is like lawsuits and your clients. So you may, you know, for some people you may decide that having clients is a hassle and you'd rather do your business in a different way where you don't have to have personal clients. For some people this can be the end of a lawsuit, and things are coming, you know, to closure with something. So I just want to say that the energy of the Knight of Pentacles is like plodding along, working methodically to get where you want to go. So this could be like in the workplace, it's just like get up, go to work, come home, rinse, repeat. The past position is the Four of Wands. This can be the you know, like a new home, for instance. So are you like working very hard to pay off a mortgage, or like now you have a new home, so you have to work very diligently in order to keep up with it? The Four of, you know what it almost makes me think though, with the Four of Wands, that you went into a relationship thinking that you had, you know, found the answer, and now you feel like it's just kind of on automatic. The Knight of Pentacles will never scintillate anybody or be scintillating. This person is very reliable. That's why it's connected to Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign. You're a fixed sign. Taurus is your opposite sign. You may have, even if you're not dealing with a Taurus right now, you may have in the past in some way, because you will, I think you will tend to cross paths with Taurians, but if you got together with somebody, forget about what sign they are, but they're just like, they're very, I don't want to keep saying the same word over again because I was going to say dependable, but they're what the, I'm sorry, it's rush hour, so there's a lot of that outer noise. You'd think I lived on the freeway or something, the way it's acting like that, and I don't. You know, this person can be very responsible and I'll just say dependable yet again, but you may not feel a sense of excitement with this person. And not to say that Scorpio is a sign that needs that type of like silly kind of excitement, but you may feel like things have already gotten into a rut with this person. If this is a situation where you are working to pay off a mortgage, maybe for a new house, you may be asking the question, do I really want to keep doing this? You know, what is the trade-off here? Am I like, I have this beautiful house, but do I have to work 60 hours a week to keep it up? And does that make a lick of sense? You know, it could be one of those things. The higher message is the Six of Cups. This is the soulmate card. So perhaps, you know, in some cases, especially if you have some kind of like a, I would even say like a twin flame situation, from what I understand from people that are dealing with those, where they feel like a certain chaos. With the twin flames, it's more volatile, but there can be that sense of excitement and, you know, maybe sometimes veering into drama, but that it's meant to be. You may have, you know, this could even be like a rebound situation if you got divorced and then you got together with somebody and you were looking for the exact opposite of what you had to deal with because you felt like your home life was really destroyed by another person, and you know, it could have just been an emotional thing. The Six of Cups is connected to Cancer, so that could be your true love of your life, but this could definitely be somebody from your past. And actually, you know, we still have, even as I record this during the first week of November, we still have this Mercury retrograde going on for a couple more weeks. You could hear from somebody from your past. But regardless, there might be somebody in your heart that you have never really fully relinquished from being the one. And you may feel like, maybe you feel a little torn because this person, you can't have them for some reason. Maybe they married somebody else. Maybe they're, you know what I mean? One of those things. And even twin flames, from what I've read, people saying that they're with somebody else. And it's like the bond is there, but the actual physical situation may not be there. Like you may not be together and you're still hoping to be together with that person. So you might have, you know, convinced yourself that the Knight of Pentacles was the one because you wanted to just like forget that person. You wanted like more peace in your life, and this person is like a rock to you, and there may be a good person. What crosses you is the Ace of Swords, so you're not seeing things clearly. One thing though is very important. Some people do have a tendency to find stable relationships boring. And this is kind of like this is a dysfunctional mentality because it's coming from a place where you remember a lot of chaos, you know, like in childhood. And so you're kind of wired for that type of relationship. Somebody who's very unpredictable, like maybe you had a parent like that, and you were always on pins and needles. And so if somebody comes along who's very stable, it can almost feel scary because you may identify as, the messed up person just by being part of a dysfunctional family. And it's like you don't know how to behave normally with normal people because you've been dealing with a lot of mentally unstable people in your life. And that is understandable, but it's something to really push against in terms of actively questioning yourself, doing that self-inquiry, which I think the Hermit card is really about, where you can see how you allow yourself to lie to yourself, and accept less than you deserve, Scorpio, to accept a certain type of when I say accept less than you deserve, you may be having a wonderful person in your life, but you may feel like you're not attracted to them because they are together. That's what I'm trying to get at here. And that is a sign of lack of self-love. And, please don't misunderstand me. I think lack of self-love is the common way that people relate in this world. It certainly is not rare for people to feel that way. So maybe some denial happening here. And then we have the Queen of Swords as what is coming in. You may feel that you have to make a decision. Maybe you can't take it any longer. Maybe you feel that something has to give. And especially if you're longing for somebody and you feel like that you belong with them. And the reason I say that is because I've had clients who say, I dream about this person. I just have this strong feeling that I'm meant to be with them. And I would never just say, oh, well, for sure, you're definitely meant to be with them, because I don't know, maybe so, maybe not. Maybe the person's trying to make more of it than it is. I mean, anything is possible. But I feel like if you are not really connecting with somebody, then you definitely need to make sure that you don't waste your life trying to make something work that isn't going to work. And a lot of it has to do with, well, this person's a really nice person, and that can really confuse people. I bring up this example all the time because I think it's such a good one with Eat, Love, Pray, which is a fantastic book. And that's what happened to Elizabeth Gilbert, and she was married to a really nice person. And these kinds of things happen, but that doesn't mean that you have to stay with that person because they're really nice. Sometimes it's kinder to them to let them find the person who's going to love them back, And you may have fallen in love with somebody's reliability. Is that a word? Sometimes I say things and I don't know if they're really words. If this is not your scenario at all, and we're looking at you working hard to pay for a property that maybe is taking its toll on you in some ways. With the Six of Cups, I always think of myself, because the Six of Cups can be childhood and idyllic times, and even children who may not have had a perfect childhood I'm sure most of us can find, things that were really great about our childhoods. And one of the things about childhood that's so beautiful is this sense of timelessness, this sense of, like the day stretching out and not having obligations. Now, of course, we're adults and we have a different life now, but the simplicity of childhood is something that you can duplicate in adulthood. If your life is too complicated, if you find that you are possessed by your possessions, then understand, Scorpio, that you can change that. You don't have to live with that. The outcome is the Hermit. I think you're going to be thinking about issues that relate to life, not just on the philosophical level, but, you know, deep down within you. And, you know, the Hermit is seeking that inner light. But we all have our own pilot lights. We all have our own direction. I said pilot light because I was thinking of, you know, I didn't realize it at the time, but being your own pilot. You know, it's your plane to fly. Nobody else has the same circumstances as you. So to try to conform to other people's expectations of what your life is supposed to look like, to me, is extremely foolish. And it's very unsatisfying too, because it probably feels very inauthentic. Usually Scorpios are not going to be this way. That's one of the reasons I really tend to I tend to vibe with Scorpios. I have the sun in the 8th house, which is Scorpio's house, so I'm an honorary Scorpio sun sign. I have the moon in conjunction with Pluto, so I'm an honorary moon in Scorpio, as a sun in Sagittarius and moon in Virgo. Okay, so that's me, but I really like Scorpios because you guys tend to be like, F it, you know, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put on airs. I'm not going to be something I'm not. I mean, I never get that vibe from Scorpios that they're trying to impress people or be something they're not. There's like this confidence. I was going to call it a quiet confidence, but it's more like a ferocious confidence that's kept on a leash. How do you like that one? And but the thing is, if you have inner planets in Libra, this can kind of change things a little bit. You might be a little bit more wishy-washy, have a tendency to, you know, want approval more than the average Scorpio. If your moon is in, you know, it could be the moon in Virgo, the moon in Cancer, the moon in Libra. Those can be moon in Pisces. Those can make you much more either questioning yourself, doubting yourself, or even wanting somebody in an excessive way, wanting approval in an excessive way. Yeah, so I think even like if you're thinking of changing jobs, you're still going to get in touch with yourself, which is really smart. It's so good to like look at things very, very thoroughly. Maybe you need to downsize, and instead you actually went up a notch, and it was unnecessary. Who knows? Okay, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that you enjoyed this. Happy birthday to those of you who are born in this time period, because it is very exciting to have your birthday month or your birthday week, whatever it is for you, or just a solar return, having the sun in your sign. I will be back doing more tarot readings for the end of the month and seeing what has changed. So if you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.